I have this life prep here and I'm making smudge sticks. Now, I'm not a witch or anything like that because there is people that use it for rituals, but it's in the Bible that Jesus loved incense. But I love incense myself, but I just love the smell of it and the nature and all this. Is my first year making them as I get more back to nature. Now, I'm saying hey to Carol out there. I'm giving her a shout out. And once I get these kind of dried up a little more, I want to be sending her some. So she sent me some great articles, and I've sent her some seeds and different things. So this here is what I do is like this here is purple loose stripe. Now what you're seeing here is a white thread right now. The white thread is cotton thread. I use this here, it's just crochet thread. I use it as a basis now. It's cotton because people who has this bond with nature does not want any kind of synthetic stuff with their plant. This here is red hemp. Now I chose red through my research because there is people believe that red has a power of good with it, a spirit, and each plant has different meanings for cleansing one's soul and spirit. Whether you want to use it for that nature wise, or you just enjoy the nature smell of the outdoors. Now, this here is a mugboard. Again, you can see right there, here is the white thread that I'm using there. And this here is, right here is Joe Pye plant. As you can see right there really more on here. And what happens as it dries, it loosens the thread up here, as you can see right here. And the reason I'm using the white first before I go to the next stage is real simple. I want air to get in between here. I want air to kind of help dry the plant because if you put it up and wrap it up too tight while it's moist, especially after a good rain or whatever, you may want to come home and lay it out flat. Make sure all the incense, the bugs and all that other stuff go. I lay it out flat for a little while, allow it air out. But that's why I do it this way. Because as it dries, this here will loosen up some. Now this here was a whole lot tighter when I first got it. This thread is real thin, so it breaks real easy. And so it don't take long on that. Now, I want to show you here. Now this here is a purple loose stripe. So I'm simply just taking my little knife here and I'm removing the threads here out of the way so I can use it. And the thing about it is once it starts to dry like it begins to bond. Now the thing is it can get rather brittle. You have to be careful when you are doing this. I'm thinking about maybe making these up and start selling them at the flea market. Something I'm thinking on. It takes several weeks to dry. Now, I'm hoping next year I can maybe plant some sage. I've learned that when it rains too much and I can't start to seed like I want, that I'm going to have to start pre-plants in the house beforehand. And then I'm going to need to create a raised bed, basically, to help keep the ground. So this one here is just no good. So what I do is I take, and see here, it still kind of holds the form. Even with me just doing this, you see here the form is already shaped. So I like to take and start towards the top. And I like leaving enough of a length to it right here because I'm going to add tags to it later. So that way people will know what they are. Now, I may not sell none next year, and I may. Now, see, I've got it really tight. And the thing is, this here is 10-pound pressure. This is hemp cord right here. You can get the 20-pound. You can go to some of these stores and get them, or you can order it online. Now, I did 2 knots to it right here. And what you want to do is when you're doing this, you want to pull this as tight as possible. As tight as you can to wrap around it here like this. Like I say, there's people who believe that the red thread holds a special power to it, a special cleansing, and they do not want any kind of synthetic thread with it. So now, you can see here, I've got it taut real tight right here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go the opposite way, as you can see right here. And I don't want to over thread it because when you're burning these plants, you don't really want to get the smell of it. That's why a lot of people like hemp thread over cotton. Now there's people that does use cotton. They don't use hemp. And he said something, states is slowly legalizing marijuana. I've never smoked it, but I do know people that does. And I know people that smoked it because there's a lot of pain. They've had injuries from wrecks and things like that. Now, I go ahead and tighten it as tight as you can. Now, you don't want to break it or anything, but see, this here is just 10 pounds. So this is stout. I can't tighten it like that with that other thread. So, I do a couple good ties to it so it be secure. And then I leave enough here where I can put me a tag on it later on. Now, each plant will react different. Now, trial and error is what I'm learning from. Some of them I just simply folded them up. I'm trying to get them kind of the same length. And then, the prices of them, I've seen them vary online on the prices of them. Now, something you need to consider too is this will shrink as it dries. So that's why I use the real light crocheting thread to help it shape in, to help it mold it, and to help dry it. Now, someone says, store it in a cool, dark place. Someone says hang them upside down, make sure they ventilate. Well, I've just got a shelf that's got wire racked to it, and I set it in front of my window, and I let it dry that way. Let it air out with it. Now, look here. Now, see, this in here is already cut. And you can see the shape that it holds from just simply putting that crocheting thread, that cotton crocheting thread around it to create the support. Simply go up here and tie it here. And it's kind of up to you on it, how high you want to tie it. Now, this is going to take several weeks to dry. So, if I do harvest enough, and this takes time. This is not an overnight project. I have to go out and harvest these plants, but I do not over harvest. I go to areas that I have found that has the plants, and I only cut what I need. It's late in the year, so many of the plants will start dying. The Joe Pie plant it's in flowering stage now, but I am saving the flowers to make cough syrup with it. And I'm going to take cedar and Joe Pie and make my cough syrup this year with. Because, cedar is full of vitamin C. So I want to make my cough syrup this year with that. And I'll probably do a video later on it. Everybody has different types of uses from elderberry to mullein to different ones. So, and you use what you have in your area. Now, again, you want to tie this tight like this is good stout thread. And I like to tie it 2 or 3 times so it will be in place here. Now, I'm learning through trial and error. Each one I have to do a little different, and there's a reason for it. Now, this in here is just basically I just bend them down, and I can bend them and shape them. This here is the same way with this here with the purplish stripe. I wanted to put the flowers on it. Some of the flowers are still moist. I can feel it. So, and the reason I did that was I want to get the dry flowers all through here, also to help burn. The Joe Pie takes me a little bit longer to do because I have to cut each end off here, as you see, evenly, because I want to get the leaves on up to use this. Again, like I said, you can see here, if you decide you want to make it, you can see how loose this is here after it started drying. And then after I replaced it, you can see the difference in the width of it once I have tightened this up. But I've allowed a few days for this to dry. I'll probably harvest this here. I harvest it on a Sunday. Yeah, I harvest these plants on a Sunday, and this here is Monday afternoon, and this is how much difference. This here is so. This in here will go back up in the window, and it will allow the wind dry. And like I say, I've got a fan that helps with the dry. So here's my three I have right now. I have Joe Pie, I have Purple Loose Stripe, and I have Mugwort. So, once these dry better, I want to send a couple to my friend uh, and give them to her. Hope that, she will enjoy it. Even if she don't use them as a smudge stick, they have natural benefits to them as well. So she can always take and just put them up and save them for uses later on. Each one has its health benefits. The Joe Pie plant is good for colds and fevers and flus. The purple loose stripe is good to make a mixture with and you use it externally for hemorrhoids, varicose veins, and things in that area. The mugwort it's like called the green plants that the Indians a lot of them use. People actually have mugwort pillows and stuff as well, but the mugwort has a common soothing effect to you. It relaxes you. So, and it's poor man's tobacco also. If you can't afford tobacco, this here helps. My son was up here and he was hurting real bad. Mugwort is not illegal to smoke, so I said, look, I got some mugwort put up in my tea. Here you go, smoke some of this, and this should help relax you, ease some of your pain, your discomfort, and just have panic attacks. So it took a while, but then you could tell the difference, and it did help him relax, it did help him sleep. So there's many benefits. Now I'm going to research, I'm going to take back one of other plants also. The benefits of, even if I don't use my smudge sticks, I still can fall back on these as medical supplies. So this is Live Prepper here. Enjoyed sharing things with you, learning with you. I want you to be safe, be happy. Bless you.